All right, guys, you already know who it is. It's Kenny with Jdm Muscle. We are in front of my new LS1. This is episode 2 of LS Swap Nissan 240SX. Here is that big bad motor. I do have it just sitting on some tires for right now. We have been moving around the garage, but this episode is going to basically be tearing this apart. There's a lot of stuff we don't need. One being this old clunky GM wiring harness. That is going to come completely off, so that's what we're going to do in this video. As for the headers, and this little bit of exhaust that's stuck to it, these headers, both sides, we're going to take off as well. I do have new ones coming to fit inside the Nissan 240SX. They do make some special ones by ISR to fit inside that trans tunnel, and just being such a big motor to make sure everything fits. So there are a lot of go fast bits on delivery. Everything coolant wise, we can pull off this radiator, get that out of the way. A lot of those coolant hoses won't be able to be reused, so we're going to have to get rid of a lot of that shit. So basically, let's pull these off both sides. Let's start pulling off all electronics. And then from there, I want to get the heads and then start cleaning everything and getting it ready to go in. So let's get started on this big, bad. Guys, so far, already making a little progress pretty quickly. Got two of us knocking it out. So radiator is free. So we've got that out of the way. From here, we're going to take off the wiring harness. She's taking off all the pieces that are holding it in. Then we can start unclicking it all. And I'm going to start taking off this bit of the headers over here. All right, guys, so we are making some good progress. She's hitting the full wire harness since Holly actually sends a full wire harness with her new ECU, which should make it pretty easy. So I've got this last bolt right here, and I can actually take the header off. So that'll be pretty exciting that we're moving along already. I will have to pull, oh shit, am I gonna have to get dipstick off? Maybe not. Yep, I probably should have. And pull these plug wires. I'll be buying a new one of those. Let's just see if we can get that out, I guess. Since we won't be using this anymore anyways. All right, dipstick's off.
That's how that comes off.
That's how they come off. And one old header is off.
Oh.
Whew. All right, guys, so yes, with the new pan, I did order an ISR front sump. I did have to get a new pan just because this one is so big that it wouldn't actually fit over the sway bar, which I think I'm going to end up running no front sway bar this year anyways. But it does actually come with a new attachment for the oil pan, so luckily the hole's still good. We're going to lift it back up now so we can reach the other side headers, pull all these plugs. I don't know why we wouldn't put new plugs and plug wires on. Nothing like just spending the extra little bit of money and doing it right the first time. So guys, we're going to get to the second side. All right, guys, and just like that, coils are off of the right side. Now we're down in the dirty valve cover. I'd love to get this off. Guys, got it back in the air, making some good progress. We have officially gotten all of the original ECU factory wiring off. Motor is starting to look better with all the shit off of it. I'll show you the pile that's come off so far. That is everything that's came off. AC condensers, coolant, full electronics to a 2002 Chevy Silverado if you want it. Guess it could be for sale for like 10 bucks. Otherwise, guys, starting to look like a long block. We're taking off the last little bit of the AC compressor itself because we're not going to run AC on this thing, so might as well get rid of that. Don't need the belt, don't need any of it. Plan is to get valve covers off at least, take them to my work, start getting them cleaned up, and then take off. All right, guys, time to remove the left side's coil packs. Just an 8 mil. These come off all pretty quickly. This whole piece comes off in one piece. So once we have the spark plug wire actually unplugged, so far the thing I've really liked about this GM motor is everything is pretty simple, and I love the fact that I can actually head down to Advanced Auto and everything is always in stock, just because this is just another LS motor that basically comes in Chevy trucks, GMC trucks, their SUVs, their bigger trucks. So that's been pretty nice. Otherwise, right here I've got all 5 out. And another coil pack off. Now let's get this guy off and start cleaning the motor. I do have a lot for the front of the motor that needs to come off as well. All right guys, and next I want to do a couple things up front. First thing I do, I want to take off the alternator just because it's a little old and I want to clean up everything around it. Then besides taking off the alternator, I'm going to take off the water pump just to put a new one on. Last thing I want to do is get it in the car and have a bad pump. So I thought maybe I would just replace it since we're right here. All right guys, alternator came off real nicely, so now we can clean up this whole side. Like I said, I want to get this old water pump off. That way we have no excuse to have to pull this motor back off. Water pump looks pretty easy. It looks like it's about 6 bolts. And then that comes off. And then we can get rid of this big ass goofy fan, because we ain't gonna be running no fan on this thing. I've actually still got the double fan, or double electric fans will run on this car. Looks like it's 6 bolts total, guys. So 6 bolts total, and just like that, water pump comes all the way off the front. Pretty easy. Boom. Water pump is off. 6 bolts being, I do believe they were 10 millimeters. We are now with the LS getting torn down. Alternator's off, water pump, everything is off, which then pulled off all pulleys that will need to go back on the new water pump. But you can see just how dirty and grimy this 130,000 mile block had on it. So I'm gonna clean all of that up so it is looking better. Just a little walk around. Next, let's pull off fuel injectors, intake, throttle body. And then from there, we can just clean everything up and reassemble. So, easy thing is I'm trying to remove the intake now, intake manifold. I was able to undo 2 bolts holding the fuel rail in, pop the fuel rail up, 2 bolts on each side. So now I can just remove the whole piece right off the engine. And this will be removed extremely easy. Now with the fuel rail pulled off, now it's time to just get the intake manifold off. I'm gonna try to undo all the other bolts holding it on. Then from there, we can just pull the entire manifold off. The throttle body, there's going to be 10 longer bolts, 8 millimeter, all pretty easy to access. I've already got 10 loose. This is the last one. All right, that's all of them free, and we should be good to, as long as everything is unhooked, lift off the throttle body. Just like that, guys. Throttle body, intake, everything is off. Then just to give you a little view, we got everything broke down to where I want to start cleaning and paint. So now with everything removed, you can see, of course, we can clean all this gook out, get everything looking good so we can put on the new throttle body. All right, guys, so we've got the block down pretty far. We've got the head off of it, sorry about that. We've got the intake manifold off of it, throttle body, water pump, alternator, every electronic at this point. We started cleaning everything up, front of the motor. We still need to pull off the front cover to replace the oil pump. So that'll be coming in soon. Otherwise, guys, we'll do a little walk around so you can see everything, but I do want to take these valve covers off, bring them to work, clean them all up. That way we can paint them and put them back on the car looking good. So pretty easy again, it's just 4 8mm. And then we'll be able to take the valve cover off and get it all cleaned up. Hey guys, we have all 4 8mm loose and off, and that is valve cover off. Now we can see lifters, rockers, everything else right underneath. Guys, took the valve covers to work. You remember how dirty they were before. We've got everything cleaned all the way down. Now we just have to get paint and paint these. I can't tell you what color yet. It's gonna have to be a surprise. Some of you probably already know it's one of my favorite colors. It'll match the rest of the stuff on the 240, but these are ready. All right, guys, so as you can see, the motor is free hanging. I do need to pick up something to hold it. Maybe an engine stand would be nice. For now, I've just been putting it down on a tire just because I don't care too much about the stock oil pan, since it does need to be replaced with the new shiny ISR. But as you can see, we are exactly to where I wanted to get before the next step. So I think this is a nice spot to finish episode 2 of the S13 LS build. As you can see, we are sweating out here in Michigan. It is 90 degrees out. Yeehaw, but it is officially where I want it to be. So she'll kind of do a little looky-boo. Like I said, we were able to get everything off, clean it as much as we can. We're gonna be painting the valve covers. I do have a new intake manifold coming in. It is an LS6 intake with a big 92mm throttle body. So let's bring in some air, let's clean it up, let's make it look as good as we can. We do need to reassemble everything up front. We need to get this off, take this harmonic balancer off, and put on the new Melling oil pump. That way we do have all that extra, I think it is an extra about 18% volume that it will push. Otherwise, guys, I hope you enjoyed episode 2. Episode 3 is going to be even better. I'm going to try to make even better clips. We're going to try to get more in depth on it. Otherwise, guys, here's a quick little walk around of everything looking pretty good. I think it's looking pretty sharp for just a cheap $600, basically junkyard block. Otherwise, guys, peace out, and until next time.